tournament will be mostly run with our standard flags, with all racers scheduled to compete each week. And in this fourth round of the Swiss section, matchups were generally determined by randomly matching up two runners with an equal record. And tonight we have ourselves a heavyweight matchup between two grizzled veterans with winning records of 2-1. It's Jackimus versus Betastrep. Jackimus gets here by defeating Lavkin in round 1, defeating EMP Any Amount of Money in the second round, and lost the Nail Biter to Sausage Link in round 3. Betastrep had a victory in round 1 over Guelph 35 before stumbling and losing in a very close race to Cyberdark 86 in round 2. Bounced back to defeat Centroid 41 in round 3, and here we are at 2-1. Special thanks tonight to our tracker and our restreamer is Zarnax42. Joining me in the booth, among other folks, is Edge Telveron. How's it going?
Hey guys, how we doing tonight? So a really good race going here. We've already got a pretty interesting start with Magic Keys and Cursed Belts in the throne room, and checking out Death Necklaces and more Cursed Belts and Herbs in the armory. Again, an amazing race against two very amazing runners, and we are joined here in the booth by both runners so we can kind of get their insights and pieces and parts where they kind of went and did a few things here and there. But other than that, it's going to be a really fun one to watch as we get this race started. Jackimus taking the interesting exploration piece early, while Betastrep does a nice little grind right off the get-go.
Yeah, there's a few different caves nearby. I just missed which was in the Stones of Sunlight cave there, but yeah, we have a very low strength start. We do have the heal spell to help out with some early exploration. Jackimus is going to do a bit of a slow grind by repeatedly opening this gold in the Stones of Sunlight cave just a couple of times in case there's a weapon nearby. Betastrep does trigger the level 1 gold grinds for about 6,400 gold, and we saw Charlock to the immediate east, maybe northeast. There's another cave down here to the south, which is Dark Place. Not sure if we knew what that was when Jackimus found it. Jack comes back now to go and buy more keys. So I believe we have Jackimus still with keys and Betastrep without, question mark. So actually I'm not totally sure about that, but we will see.
And you are correct. We did see Beta just go ahead and open up that armory and hit that early gold grind, whereas he's going to do the reset. So it looks like he's going to go ahead and he's figured out that the gold is there, so he's going to go ahead and head back and catch the gold first and then come back and get the keys. So good
play there. And not only that, but there also wasn't a town really close by either, so all of this money that he's carrying around may not work out well when we have such low strength and poor survivability. A red slime actually is one of the opportunities to get out of jail here. It's to the southwest of the castle, so it's unclear if it's in the primary zone or in one of the other zones, but 2 points on the board for Betastrep, and a Drakey would do it if he is successful. 5 strength against the Drakey is super bad. You only hit them 1 out of every 3 times, but he, I think, is probably defense breaking it, so we could have a very long tickle fight, and if he gets him, we'll have level 2.
Oh yeah, and that'd be great, especially we saw he did the reset, he gets the excellent move and does take the Draki down, is going to see level 2, and we're going to see what we got here with level 2. Looks like 26 power, 1 speed, 5 HP, and a new spell. Yikes off that strength. We are not going to have to worry about that now.
Yeah, that's really good when you're can't find a town to buy any weapons. You don't really need any weapons now. You can get these next few levels pretty quickly. Heal spell is helpful. We picked up stop spell. So Betastrep, if he's joining us today, maybe he can fill us in on what was his thoughts behind the early reset there.
Well, I opened with the gold grind because I saw the 5 strength start. Figured it wouldn't hurt to go a screen or 2 each way, see if I could find a town quickly and get a broadsword full plate, that sort of deal. And as soon as I saw gold in the free stuff cave, it's just like instant reset because it's right there.
Yeah, there's even an additional town to the east of Charlock, so Jackimus has found a place perhaps to spend a little bit of money. He's got about 1,000 gold to work with, picking up a dragon scale and a couple of torches. We'll have to see if there is anything over in the weapon and armor shop once he's done here. I believe we may have Jackimus with us as well. So how are you feeling at this point in the race?
I have all the keys in the world, and there's a town nearby, and it's pretty easy to print money, so my thoughts are maybe there's good stuff, and I can just get lots of gear and make the early game really easy.
Very good.
So I don't know, the shop's alright. I mean, I buy a club. Club's better than nothing. I won't ever actually use that club, though.
There may be something back here behind the door in Garenham, we shall see.
Right. So, meanwhile, Betastrep's still out there grinding. He has hit level 3, and level 3, not really impressive, but looks like he got a little bit of HP out of that.
So we do have Erdrick's sword in one of the 3 chests behind the locked door in Garenham, and now we're going to be wandering back into a lit up place. It's the Rainbow Drop Cave. We'll be coming back here later to get the last thing needed to enter the final castle. So Betastrep with the quick early grind with that huge strength boost, but now Jackimus has just as much attack power to work with on level 1, and gets sent home by a Demon Knight, and perhaps now's the time to get off of level 1, we shall see. We're also, at least the tracker so far, is noting that the Dragon Scale is not equipped. You don't need to equip that, do you?
Those things are just suggestions, but it is an extra 2 defense points, and it does help quite a bit. And the Erdrick sword is a huge piece, and of course we're seeing Beta over here picking up on the same piece, picking up the small shield, picking up the club, and I think he's remembering right here that he does have a cursed belt to be able to pick up that chainmail as well. Yikes! I mean, though, Erdrick's sword in Garenham is a huge piece.
Yeah, and wasn't there a better piece of armor beyond the chainmail? Because, like Jackimus just said, you could print up some money pretty quickly in a variety of ways. So maybe we will get some armor upgrades a bit later. Although right now things seem to be moving very quickly. We have the Tablet Cave for Jackimus, 1 chest here. Let's see if we have some sort of a quest item, or maybe it's just an herb.
So yeah, to answer the question on that earlier, there is a magic armor there in the Garenham shop. So we do have the ability to get the best armor money can buy that close to the castle. All we got to do is just be able to get a gold grind initiated.
Yeah, I mean the best thing now for them, if Repel came along anytime soon, then you'd probably want to get some defense so you could repel some monsters, because they have already very high attack power with the sword and that strength boost, combining in Jackimus's case here for over 70 attack power already in the early going. So we'll see if they end up trying to pick up the magic armor later. Betastrep now is going to go behind. Maybe we'll get a key refresh and a check of this basement, which I believe was this the Rainbow Drop Cave that we saw earlier.
It's the grave
down here. Okay, I've already mixed things up. Rainbow Drop Cave was in the other basement. Okay, so here we are for Betastrep going into the grave, and so of course if you do acquire these chests here in the grave, there is already a gold grind available in the treasury, so already an opportunity to maybe print up some more money for Betastrep to get some armor upgrades. Jackimus with Rimuldar. There is locations just everywhere, Edge. What's going on here? I think they've found at least half of the places already, and we might be less than 10 minutes in.
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. I mean, a lot of quick places, super close to the castle, and within walking distance, and not too many dangerous enemies around that area. So yeah, and with Betastrep going down here, like you said, the gold grind is activatable. We know which chest has that valuable gold, as well as we do know that again, Garenham has that magic armor. The only thing we need at this point is just somebody to have a silver shield, and we're set for a hot minute.
So Betastrep is going to abandon the deep grave. Maybe you want to fill us in on the thought there, Betastrep?
Basically, I misread my gold, and I thought I had 85, and I actually had 75. So if you were looking closely, you'd have noticed I wasn't able to buy a key on entry into the grave, so I didn't have a key.
Aha! I did not notice that you only had the one key, or to work with, going into the basement there. So fortunately for you, there was gold in the grave, right? So no problem there. You're able to reacquire keys. I guess Rumbledar's pretty close by as well in this one. And let's see now. We have gold grind being initiated potentially for a betastrep. He did go ahead and pop up and down into the throne room in order to make this happen. So we are going to potentially get magic armor money, maybe a little extra for a large shield if we find one, something like that. And I guess, yeah, maybe I'm behind. You haven't had an opportunity to get into the back of Garanham yet, betastrep, because of the key situation?
Right, due to the timing of everything, when I saw it, I only had the one key.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, very good. It's interesting too. We don't have what's been happening a lot on this latest version of Rando. There's not really a stat that's really lagging behind. We're only really on level 5, so it's hard to say. But like we already have HP in the 40s, so doesn't seem like there's going to be a specific nasty challenge. Seems pretty jetty so far. We're gonna get a little spike tile check here for Jack. On the, well, we're one step short, and this could be a pretty good enemy with the Erdrick sword in hand for level 6 here.
Yeah, Beta picking up that sword, so he's going to find out now that he's got some punching power. And, again, with all these things pretty close, it's really nice. We have level 6, 10, 8, 8, and 6 with no new spells. Not a terrible level. Like you said, the stats are progressing along very nicely, but the fun police are on that spike tile. Yikes.
Yeah, I found the cop shop.
Jackimus just swings at it a few times just in case we get a couple of crits, and if not, it's a nice easy trip home. Get refresh all our resources, maybe walk in a different direction. So now I'll kind of be curious on whether or not betastrep ever goes diving into the grave. Just the timing of it, of course, like you said, only able to clear the top 3, and now we have Jackimus walking in that direction with a full complement of keys, and so we'll see if he decides to dive on this trip here as we go towards the grave. Betastrep, unfortunately, gets dodged by a Demon Knight, as they do.
Yeah, and so the big piece to this is going to be finding the key items for that wonderful convenient jerk outside of Charlotte. And that's going to be the Silver Harp to turn into the Staff of Rain, the Stones of Sunlight, and Erdrick's Token. Those 3 things are required to get the Rainbow Drop from the jerk, and then create the Rainbow Bridge going across into Charlotte Castle. So those are items that are a must-have, and then of course another must-have will be Erdrick's Armor to complete this whole thing.
Jackimus finding a really nice enemy at this stage of the game, the Magic Wyvern, who is happens to have the Hurt spell, so really nerfed. And just a couple of swings of the sword with this attack power, and down it goes for 83 experience. It's going to try the same with the Demon Knight here. So, wow, that one happens to have a lot of hit points. I thought for sure it was going down. Oh, and the sleep comes out from the Demon Knight. Little surprise attack. But waking up, we have some dodges, all sorts of shenanigans. But survived. Now, Jackimus is running low on resources. Was able to get the top 3, but maybe a dive to Deep Grave here is going to be tricky for him as well, so we'll see how that works out.
So that level 7, I don't know if you saw that, but not too shabby strength, a little bit of speed, 59 magic points and 20 or 18 HP, so a huge gain, and magic points are already in just about go stats.
I don't remember if Jackimus checked this chest before, probably so, but we do have a check here from betastrep. It's just a torch, but just checking off the list of all the places nearby to open for those quest items that you mentioned. Still no quest items discovered, but this is an excellent enemy that Jackimus has found. It's just unfortunately he didn't cast Hurt that particular time, and down he goes. So, are we going back to Deep Grave for either runner, or are we going to just wait for later? That's the question.
At this point, I know there's magic armor and silver shield, so I'm gonna just refresh keys and print money if I remember correctly.
Nice.
Oh, you've seen a silver shield already as well. Okay, very, very good. We just saw Betastrep pick up a large shield in the town there. So that could be a difference to look out for later as well.
Yeah, Rimmelsdar's super close. It has the silver shield, so a quick money-making pyramid scheme, and off to the races they go. Since it is super close, and I mean, with the stats that they're sitting at, I mean, there's honestly no real thing that's really going to put them back at this point. The Armored Knight, super hurt more wise. We do get the stop spell on him on Betastrep's side, but he is hitting like a freight train right now.
So Jackimus just says that he's not going back into the grave. I'm about to print money, but here we are back in the grave.
Hey, I guess I misremembered, but, just got 60 MP and you have heal more, so it's like, you got the resources to get to the bottom, guess you might as well.
Yeah, that MP boost is fantastic. Yeah, you got heal more to work with, and HP is sort of trickling in. The stats seem to not be an issue in this one at all. Armored Knights have hurt more, but the spell's been blocked. Betastrep's going for it. Down it goes. That is more than doubling his current experience total and a jump to level 7.
Yeah, he's going to see that big increase, and he's going to get the exact same news, so not a terrible thing. And a fantastic takedown with that Armored Knight going down that early. Seems to be very spell heavy, and that stop spell hit is a big piece in a town right outside of Swamp North.
Yeah, so here's a little opportunity for Betastrep to take over the experience lead while Jackimus is about to print up about 23,000 and change for the best gear that money can buy. He knows where to go for those magic armor, silver shield, and Betastrep has to take an in to refresh here. And he already has magic armor and large shield on his docket, so it's time to try and take over that experience lead while looking for the last few places on the map. No repel, of course, so we are seeing a metal slime.
Yep, our first medal of the night, and with Erdrick's Sword's not a terrible thing to have. It does, it's not going to give you a better hit, but it does give you that higher attack power, so you do have a better shot to hit. And he does take the metal down, and of course with this you have the scaling metal slimes, which is new to the tournament. So he doesn't get quite the 255, but he does reach level 8, and 8 has another menagerie of really nice stats.
Yeah, in particular the HP, which is what you like to see at this stage of the game. So you're taking a little bit less 2 shots from the big monsters. We're almost at the point where we can survive a Dragon Lord Breath attack. I thought that I saw that he picked up the sleep spell there, and maybe one of the other auxiliary spells there on level 8 for Betastrep. And he actually does have the option to repel now as well, so we'll see if he goes for that. We do have high attack power and sort of medium defense, so sometimes that's a good idea to start repelling. Jackimus is back in Garenham to complete the magic armor portion of his spending spree here.
Yeah, and I like Jake Hoper. He says that I like that Beta has zero reason to check a shot for the rest of the seed. Underrated time saver. It's really nice because again, doing this with a large shield isn't too terrible, but the silver shield can help out in a pinch if the agility just decides to taper off completely.
Yeah, as soon as Jackimus, assuming he doesn't get sniped by something, if he manages to pick up the silver shield, he won't have to check any additional shops either, and they'll just be trying to go from one place to the next on the map. This kind of a race comes down to how quickly and how efficiently can you actually just make progress on the map to discover all 16 locations on the map, since most of them are often required, and you just want to keep checking things off your list until you have all those quest items and you can get moving into Sharlock. It's a super jet seed. I haven't seen any wombo combos or multiple red dragons all over the place. They seem to be just handling things very easily now.
Yeah, and over on Beta screen, the Spectre does have DL2, but he has enough HP to survive one shot, so that was really nice. Beta, I do have to go ahead and ask you the question. At this point in the seed, was the Silver Shield on your mind whatsoever?
Not at all.
And
Yeah,
a
don't blame
good
me. The
play.
faster and easier things are going, the less that you're concerned too much about side trips. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It will be interesting though between the on the end of the seed, between the difference in builds and the difference in the shields. Jackimus could end up having somewhere around 7 or 8 additional defense points, which could potentially repel or defense break a handful of extra monsters going down through Sharlock. So could be an advantage much later on in the race. We'll have to watch for that towards the end.
Well, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I have a reputation for really liking the defense stat in this game, so if there's a really easy way to get a silver shield, I'm always gonna pick that up.
Right on. So, looking over at Beta's screen, he has found the Metal Slime Sanctuary. He's already had 3 and defeated 1. So, it's a nice little spot later on if this attack power keeps playing out like it has. You could easily pull 255 every time with 1 hit.
Yeah, and yet Jackimus actually didn't fall that far behind with experience right now. And we have pretty even, everything. They both picked up the death necklace somewhere along the way, which I totally missed. Was that in the throne room or something?
Definitely
in the treasury.
In the armory.
Treasury? Oh, the first trip into the treasury. Okay, very good. Still no quest items for anyone. I guess Mountain Cave has 5 chests. We still have to find all of these search spots, I believe. I don't think anyone has found the town of Cole yet. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nope, Cole hasn't been found yet. We do still have the 2 chests in the bottom of Grave as well. So we still have a few places to look. We haven't found Canton, so we don't have coordinates yet. And Betastrep taking down another Metal Slime for another 255. That is a huge piece. 1 power, 1 speed, 2 HP, and 9 magic with more spells along the way.
Yes, and that spell is Hurt More. So if we were having any trouble defeating any monsters before, we have yet another means to blow them up, starting at level 9, which Jackimus will be getting in just about 100 more experience points. And he did the search at the town of Cole for what looks to be the token. Is that right?
Yep, token is in hand.
It's Erdrix. But yeah, we already have the sword, so not that much of a tease. Token, first quest item on the board for Jackimus, and Betastrep continues to expand that experience lead. These Magic Wyverns are really tasty, and now they're even easier with that Hurt More spell.
Yeah, one-shotting those for 83 magic points is amazing. And this super early in the run, that can make or break. A level versus a couple of levels, getting those down.
Of course, I did not notice before that they also had the sleep spell, so Jackimus is just itching to wake up, and he's been massively sleepwalked. It was tickling him with hurt a couple times, but unfortunately sleep, and maybe it's a relatively low percentage hurt or something, but down goes Jackimus. So
I was up
unfortunate.
past my bedtime, evidently.
Very
he's
sleepy
just,
and unable to wake
just
up.
helping you out there.
This might be a good time for Betastrep to head towards the search spot now that we do have Hurt More to work with. Heal More as well. HP has gone up quite a bit, so yeah, pretty much we're ready to fight anything that's there. Green Dragons are a nice victory.
Yeah, I was going to say, we do know that it is a red dragon on that tile from Jackimus' search earlier, but Beta is there with a lot bigger total of things, so we could definitely see a red dragon kill here just using DL strats very easily.
That is an incredibly unlucky red dragon fight. We do have defense up in the 60s. That was nearly max rolls on both turns by the red dragon. Probably not worth double healing there because he only had about 3 heal mores to work with. So just went for the swing and just that was pretty outrageous.
Yeah, so over here on Jackimus' screen, we do have the town of Kentland, so we're about to find out whether or not we got some coordinates. And if we don't, then this could make a few things pretty spicy really quickly.
Alright, so wishing the warrior well, and does give some coordinates. 42 and 6, something of that nature. Maybe countable. Alright, not too bad. And he's going to work his way out to preserve his current position on the map instead of going home to start the count right away. He just wants to explore this little nook of the world a little bit more thoroughly. We have a bridge over here leading further to the east. Jackimus finally finds a metal slime, but it instantly runs away, as they do.
Yeah, and looking over here at the experience difference, we have an almost 1,000 point experience difference. Beta is sitting right around 1,700. He's going to find Cantlin as well, so he's going to get his coordinates right here in just a few seconds. So both runners just kind of on each other's heels. The only difference is Jackimus has found Cole, does have the token, so we have the one small difference in the entire map right
now. Indeed, and we so he hasn't been back to Hoxton, so we still don't know what the monster there might be guarding. It's just 2 search spots still to track down, and we have 4 let me think. Yeah, 4 items that could still be there. Could still find the armor on a search spot. Still a couple of quest items. Fairy Flute still out there somewhere. So Betastrep's going to cross these barrier tiles. 15 damage every step when you don't have Erdrick's armor. And but not a problem with all the healing and HP that they have to work with. Yeah, 42 south, 6 east. So they both have the info. Another Demon Knight death for Jackimus. Maybe now's the time to start counting.
Yeah, I think that's what we're probably getting ready to see here, hopefully. And those Demon Knights just it's unfortunate to play with because they just don't like to play nice at all with anybody. Super high dodge and just real tough to take down. But with this Erdrick Sword and this attack power these guys have, shouldn't be too hard. But again, that dodge is a nightmare.
Yeah, that Demon Knight, they might in fact be the second most annoying enemy in the game. So it's tough. I don't like that dodge one bit.
They like their evasion and their magic resistances, but luckily you can usually one-shot them once you have 100 or more attack power.
Metal slimes are everywhere as well. We have... Okay, so Jackimus is going back down through to try and get those bottom 2 chests because I feel like we're getting close to being out of places to search. Have either of you found Mountain Cave yet? I guess that might be out there somewhere, right?
Yeah,
don't think I've seen it yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think at this point, Mountain Cave is still eluding us, but we do have just about everything else. So this is, in my opinion, a very good play by Jackimus. Get these last 2 out of the way just to verify whether or not those last couple of pieces are going to be behind the Red Dragon. You've got the countable search on the overworld. So Princess is going to be stuck in the cave just a little longer, right?
Yeah, there still are 2 quest items outstanding as well. So that those can't be in Charlock, so it makes a little more sense to just make sure you're clearing everything out. If all that he was looking for was the armor, maybe he would consider leaving this dive for a bit later. But right now, there's still a lot to look for, and I like the play where. Especially with Repel in dungeons, he's only going to be seeing nice, juicy enemies in here to fight. It's not too long of a trip. And Betastrep looks like he may be counting out some coordinates, stutter stepping towards the south here. So
yeah, and I was just getting ready to comment on that. We've got the stutter step, we've got the Repel on. It is time to go and hopefully receive this, and we have the search spot. We're close. We're super close.
Meanwhile, the bottom of the grave yielded nothing exciting, but we do have a quest item for Betastrep here in the middle of the swamp.
Yeah, so we now have the Silver Harp. We have the I believe we've seen the Harp Turning Cave, so I'm not 100% sure, but we still have Mountain Cave to find. We do find another town right here.
Yeah, I remember for sure seeing the Rainbow Drop Cave early on. I missed the Staff Trading Cave if they did find it. Betastrep, I could have sworn that he was here before. I guess I'm mixing up the people. No, because the token is there. So just like that, in a matter of about 30 seconds, 2 quest items found now by Betastrep. We're still just looking now for the Stones of Sunlight and Erdrick's armor.
Yeah, and kind of with things sitting the way they are, I mean, this is a great play. You've got a lot of attack power and defense. You can defense break a lot of the weaker things so you can get the searching and the exploration done. Exploration experience right now is super key because you've already got 2 items. All you need to do is find that 1 cave you're missing, and get everything turned in, and you are in a spot to pretty much control this race.
Not sure if either of you have any comments on just the randomness of the various seeds. I think Jackimus may have had a race that was almost 3 hours long earlier in this tournament, and now we have a race that's seemingly super fast. So it's interesting just how different it can be from seed to seed.
Yeah, it really is. I guess I kind of have a reputation for having the longest race for every tournament that I'm in, and also the quickest race for every tournament that I'm in. Like, the very first tournament that we did, I had that apparently legendary almost 4-hour race with Ness Cardinality, and then the next week, against Zarnax, we both finished under 50 minutes, so there you go.
That's pretty insane. But yeah, it's if anyone out there in chat is actually new to this rando, definitely check it out. It's super fun. It's a very wide variety of experiences each time you roll a seed. So this one happens to be pretty much a jet seed so far. I don't see anything holding them back at this point. We have HP up near 90 for betastrep. We got triple digit MP to work with heal more, hurt more. Just a matter of finding those last few places on the map. I think Mountain Cave, which Jackimus has on screen, is going to be pretty important to find for both runners.
Yeah, and I see that we've got a couple people just coming in. So here's a quick summary on top of what he's already given here. Super low strength start. Erdrick's sword in Garenham, which Garenham is right outside of Charlock, which is right outside the castle as well. A lot of super high stat boosts, super early, as well as, as was said, at level 6, a 59 magic point jump and heal more and hurt more just after those. So we definitely have a nice race going on here. We're missing one quest item and just a couple other places. So this race has been really nice. And of course, we see Jackimus in Mountain Cave.
Yeah, and I actually missed him going down and picking up the harp. That was a super quick count from him. So first into Mountain Cave and betastrep right behind. We did find the fairy flute, but nothing else too exciting. No armor and no stones yet. So it's possible that the stones are in Hawksness and the armor's in Charlock. We'll see about this last chest here. Because, after this chest, I think we're just about out of places already.
We certainly are.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have, I think, just one spot left.
There it is. We know where these stones are, and we know where the armor is. So if you guys are interested in the pyramid game, take your guesses at where that Erdrick's armor is. We also, I think, still have to find the fighter's ring if they care about such things. They might end up being overpowered at the end of this, but that's somewhere in Charlock as well.
Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting play. Looking over at Beta's screen, 117 attack power, 117 magic. This is one of those seeds that you could see a Death Necklace strat happen this quick.
Yeah, note also that I believe they've both seen the Red Dragon in Hawksness, but I don't remember seeing either of them check the spike tile in the Swamp Cave, if we've actually even seen Swamp Cave. So very quickly now, we're going to be wondering, where am I going to do my end game grinding? Because we have to get into Charlock to finish the seed here. So we'll see if either of them takes a side trip to check that spike, or if they're just going to go Red Dragon hunting.
Yeah, we have been through Swamp Cave because that's how we got over to the other continent to get into Breckenary and some of those areas around there. So, it's going to be interesting to see if either of them goes to check on that spike tile or not. And at the same time, if that spike tile doesn't play out to be a golem or a stone man, the Red Dragon's not a terrible grind decision at 117 attack power at this point.
So let me ask, I guess both of the runners would know better than, what we're trying to keep track of here. Have you guys not seen the Staff Trading Cave yet?
Staff Trading Cave is on the second continent to the southwest of the swamp exit.
At this point, I know I haven't seen it on the map yet, because it was very much the last thing I found.
Okay, so maybe a little exploration advantage here for betastrep since he has seen it. Just didn't have the harp at the time, apparently, because we had to do the count to get it off the overworld spot. So once Betastrep does the homework, it's Red Dragon for the stones, and then it's grind and go. Jackimus may be still searching around for that cave.
Oh yeah, and of course, like we said, with that being the case, we do know for a fact that the armor is going to be in Charlotte Castle, and that is a tough play because you have those immense amount of barrier tiles inside of Charlotte Castle that you have to get through before you can actually get down any further into the castle.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Edge, I guess we can all have a discussion about there are definitely two ways to go with that. Either you grind and just get like an extra level, extra stats, and attempt to grab the armor and go win on the same dive, or maybe there are situations where you want to go in early and get the armor first and then go for a dive afterwards. I don't know if either of you guys have an idea, either in this race in particular, which way that you, well, don't spoil, I guess, which way you do in this race, but if there's a general thought on how you usually want to go about doing it.
It depends entirely on the enemy set within Sherlock itself.
I'm a strong advocate for trying to go for armor in game in the same dive, because unless your end game grind requires the armor for some reason, like let's say you don't have hurt more or something like that, and you're desperately needing the defense, and you're dealing with like a hurt more casting enemy, like I really don't see the point of a separate dive for armor.
Yeah, I think both points are valid. I know sometimes for me it's just harder to I guess, yeah, I'm not sure. Sometimes maybe it's harder to do your grinding or something without the armor. So, grinding in Sherlock sometimes is just the best grind. And so you just kind of do it as a separate dive while you're getting experience. I guess a lot of factors are at play. I agree with you, Jackimus, as well. If you're seeing wombo combos all over the place from the Sherlock enemies, it might change your outlook for your final dive. So, yeah, we'll see how you guys both did that, since we do know right now the armor is going to be in Sherlock. It's just a matter of what we get stat-wise before the homework is done here. And speaking of which, Betastrep has a lot of green numbers there now.
Yeah, level 12 was super nice. 132 attack power. Yikes! And then, of course, to answer the question, about that kind of dive, you either way is a good point. And then sometimes you get runners who get a super nice grind on that top floor, and then just continuously make those dives. And sometimes that's kind of their way of doing things, and I can understand either way. But I think at that point you just grind on that top floor, learn from the mistakes of the past, and just get down there when you have a lot more magic and stuff like that. So sometimes grinding out those extra levels are not a terrible idea.
So we do see the staff pick up for Betastrep, who he mentioned that it was on the second continent, so he had to go through Swamp Cave to make. Oh, sorry, I guess. Maybe I misunderstood, but yeah, Hawksness is actually right nearby, so he is just going straight for the Red Dragon grind. Did either of you actually check the Swamp Spike, or doesn't really matter at this point? Red Dragons are a good grind with high attack power.
Are you watching what's going on right now?
We already have Go stats, by the way, at level 12, just to point that out. And also, at this point in the race, I don't know that armor is definitely in Sherlock, because I have not gone to the bottom to the grave, and I also have not gone to the bottom of Tablet Cave.
Yeah, on level 12 we do have Go stats, and Jackimus is just here trying to get those stones. So, there is some issue with the Red Dragon grind right now without the armor. I think is what Jackimus was referring to. Ooh, that was pretty nasty. So, pretty high percentage Dragon Lord Breath. I think in this current version it can't be 75%, correct? So, but certainly it looks to be 50%.
Not exactly sure on the specifics, but anytime you're forced to battle a tough enemy with Dragon Lord 2 Breath without the armor, like, you might be stuck there casting Heal More turn after turn after turn after turn. It's it's not pleasant.
No, not at all. And, especially these red dragons, you don't know that they've got the heal more like they do. And they hit you with the breaths, and you are getting some of that damage in. And they hit that heal more. Yikes, man.
So, Edge, when's the last time you saw Slam Dunk Go stats on level 12? This is very early to have such stats. Level 12, really? That's crazy.
I think I've only honestly seen this one other time, but it wasn't even a regular race. It was a Three's Company race, I believe, or a Cursed Belt race or something along those lines. And somebody had Ghost stats at 13 and beat the Dragon Lord instead of taking the Princess. So it was kind of interesting to see.
I don't know if I've ever seen stats this good on level 12, so yeah, Betastrep has the staff in hand, has just gotten these stones out of Hawksness, so the Rainbow Drop Cave is in one of these basements. We are going to the Tentacle basement right now, but I believe this is going to be the grave.
And Morgan asking, does Keyfinity on Tracker imply no keys flags? Well, no. They did manage to get 2 keys early in the throne room, so both runners kind of looking around with a couple of different things. We had 1 reset and then a complete retake of keys, so these guys just pretty much had infinite keys from the start of this race.
Yeah, note now that from Betastrep's perspective in the race here, he still does have to search the grave because the armor can be in a chest or it can be on a search spot, and the chest could be in or outside Charlock. So these are the last locations Betastrep has to clear before knowing for sure that the armor is in Charlock, whereas I believe Jackimus knows already that it is, and just needs to track down that Staff of Rain cave here. So it's a race between those 2 objectives at this point.
I really hated this phase of the race because I didn't have outside and I had to make a decision of whether to dive grave, knowing I'd have to walk all the way out or simply go into Charlock. And since I saw Dragonlord Breath and Healmore out of the Red Dragon, I was really, really concerned about that being a possibility in Charlock. So I wanted to do the outside checks first, even without outside.
Oh yeah,
Gotcha.
Totally defensible.
I agree.
What's funny about that too, Betastrep, as you'll agree, is it may actually not be easy to die in here either. It just makes it even worse.
There were stone men on one of the floors. That's how I got out.
And Jackimus gets the last thing that he needs, so all we got to do now is head back to Garenham, I believe it was, for the Rainbow Drop Cave. He's going to use the wings because we don't have return yet, guys, so make sure we have some wings maybe for the final dive, otherwise we're walking back to the castle.
Spoiler alert, jeez.
Oh, well, I'm just saying that can be a thing sometimes.
And it's such a long walk. It's tiring.
Right. Well, last chest was opened by Betastrep. He is attempting to walk out, or until we do find something like a stone man to send him home a little bit quicker. And we are at the same time walking back to the Rainbow Drop Cave here for Jackimus. So all of a sudden, despite the fact that he was behind on experience, as he's going to find out if he can get 3 more points, it's go time. So doesn't really matter so much about the experience if you get the items first in a seed like this. And here he goes into Charlock.
All right, we have Betastrep hitting 13. Not really a huge level, 2216, not bad. But again, not stellar like the rest of this has been, but it is almost time for that complete slowdown of some of these stats, being that they are right at go time with this sitting the way it is now.
Yeah, it made some sense for him to continue on to 13 just because agility and defense are quite low on his side. So, like he said, if there's some issues with Red Dragons having Dragonlord Breath and Charlock, it can be useful to have some more agility when you're completing your final dive. So, continuing to fight and getting 13 here makes total sense. Jackimus is making the walk across the barrier tiles without the armor, so we are going to have to burn a little bit of heal mores here. in this situation down to, 12 heal mores already to go along with the 132 attack power. So little bit tricky about whether or not he's going to win on this dive, but still certainly possible.
We've got Beta heading down to the tablet cave. He's going to find the bad news that it is completely empty because he's full on herbs. So,
honestly, I just wanted outside on 13. I didn't really care about stat gains. I just wanted outside.
Don't blame me on that one. And Wizard's ugly, having heal more, so usually a pretty easy amount of XP. Not being nice with that heal more spell.
So is Jack taking some insurance fights here? Is that what's going on? Trying to fight the wizard?
Well, wizards are usually two-shot, so the heal more is more of a nuisance than anything. Like, you've got 132 attack on average, you're gonna two-shot them and you'll never see it.
Yeah, but just in general, you seem to be fighting your way down just to get like some insurance stats maybe, since the numbers are a little close right here.
Well, I know how bad the red dragons are, so I have absolutely no delusions of getting the armor and fighting the dragon lord on the same run.
Yeah, sounds good. And like we were just saying, maybe some stat gains all around might help on the next dive. So continuing to pick off some of the weaker monsters here makes some sense. And now we do have the rainbow drop for Betastrep. He does have a little bit more stats to work with on his dive, so we'll see if he attempts the one and done. We have 134 attack power balanced with 126 MP. Really low agility and defense, so we'll see how it goes in Sharlock here.
Yeah, so as we said earlier, definitely get your votes in for where this is going to be at. We are right there at the precipice of finding out which direction that Jackimus is going to go, either to the armory or to the table, and see which one this could be. And my vote's table. And of course, I always vote table because that's where I go immediately. Because it's, as I've stated before, it's a lot less steps to come back from judge's table to the armory than it is armory to judge's table.
Yeah, there are definitely schools of thought on that.
That's a solid argument, but you're trying to be efficient for the sake of a 1 and 7, whereas you can be inefficient for the sake of a 6 and 7.
A very, very valid point. I just know how the seeds love to troll me, and it's just kind of one of those, hey, I'm going to take the trolliest move this game's thrown at me.
Very good.
Well, as the LOZ Cards fan says, the game knows.
Game knows, and Betastrep knows that he just burned 2 heal mores plus a few herbs, getting through these barrier tiles. Does use a torch just in case this is the final dive. You don't know if maybe there's a really easy Sharlock in front of you here. We do have the breath attack from Jackimus just steps away from the treasury, and that is nasty. Unable to get away. Jackimus does have slightly more agility here on level 12 than Betastrep has on 13 because of the agility build, but so far not making it too much easier to run from this stubborn red dragon here.
I'll tell you, some people
have over 100 MP.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. And it's just kind of one of those things. Some people just have all the luck trying to run away from these enemies, and some people unfortunately have a very bad time with these things. That is why they call Sharlock the Great Equalizer.
Yeah, and as you say that, Betastrep is having a tough time running from this particular red dragon, who is not breathing fire, but is also not letting him go either. And play the pyramid game, guys, really quick. I had middle, and I was wrong. Where else could it be? Fighter's Ring could be handy. That's going to be +2 if Jackimus remembers to put it on, which he does.
My brain worked, yay!
And looking for that armor. And
Judge's
knew
table.
where it was.
It seems like if I'm involved, that judge's table is the place to go. I don't understand that, but hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, this is going to work out in Jackimus' favor as well, just because Betastrep was trying to go on one dive. Of course, now we see Betastrep not even in Sharlock anymore, so But yeah, if he's trying to go on one dive, it does make it quite a bit of a longer journey to have to go down and then up and then down again. But now Jackimus knows exactly where it is, so on the next dive, we just pick it up on the way and win if he so desires. It's not easier said than done with the enemy set.
It's really just those red dragons. The red dragons were the only thing that stopped this seed from being like 40 minutes or less long, honestly.
Yeah, it seems that way. Everything else you guys just motored right through. And right now you're on your way back up. This is getting pretty dicey. Using the herbs, using some heals, trying to get upstairs. I mean, it would be huge for you to get to the chest on this dive. But we have another red dragon here. One more try. And he gets away.
Just a bit of extremely good luck right there when I'm completely out of resources.
Yes, the final chance, run and gets away. Betastrep going halfway back through the first zone once again. Wow, this has become kind of a nail biter. It was sort of diverging paths, and then now you're both going back and forth in Charlock, just trying to make this happen on multiple dives. Betastrep is through the first zone with 13 heal mores still to work with. Uses a couple of herbs. Betastrep is Jackimus is having an amazing walk with no MP. Is just moments away from getting to the 7th chest up here at the judges table. Wow, incredible.
You call it an amazing walk, but the RNG equals itself out because I did have to spend, I think, 64 MP to escape from a red dragon earlier in this attempt to get the armor.
Yeah, so some bad luck balanced with some good luck towards the end of that dive, but you now have Erdrick's armor in your possession en route to your next dive. You'll just already have it, so the barrier tiles will be no problem. Think you're just kind of looking around for a death warp at this point, judging from the back and forth. Betastrep is moving through the second zone, the middle zone. I don't remember which zones had the red dragons, but they were
all of them
everywhere.
All of the zones of dragons.
Yeah, that would have been the smart play, Coper, but I ended up crit hitting it.
Well, here's another stone man, and back you go. Just 400 points or so away from level 13, so we'll be curious to see if you do try to pick some monsters off for an insurance level. We have red dragons in all the zones, so maybe from your perspective we'll get a giant power boost to make things much easier. We already see the stats over on Betastrep's screen. The level 13 didn't yield a whole lot, but we'll see.
Yeah, Beta hitting that stop spell. I think he's finally given up to just take this guy out because it is just not letting him get away. That 66 agility coming into play here.
And while we're kind of trying to move through Charlock here, I guess we should point out there is one more race happening for the week 4 coming up in about 20 minutes, I want to say. Right? It's this 9 o'clock Eastern, and then following that race we will have week 5 matchups announced. So you guys all make sure you stick around for a lot more Dragon Warrior randomizer action.
And I tell you what, these week 5 pairings are going to be very key on a lot of levels because you've got a lot of people with their backs against the wall needing to get that 3rd win. You've got a lot of people who are going to be trying to just get a glimmer of hope to get in there with 2 wins, possibly getting a last chance shot. So there's going to be a lot of these races that are going to be very key and very, very much very just, I guess, emotional, you would say, because it's going to determine a lot of placings in this tournament.
Yeah, even at the higher end, the 3-1s and the 4-0s, there are first round buys to play for as well. So let's see if Betastrep manages to at least clear all of the pyramid chests before getting sniped here. And there's the fighter's ring for Betastrep, so we'll have +2 as soon as that gets put on. And now he knows exactly where the armor is, and it's a matter of, can he get another dive done and catch up to Jackimus, who already has the armor and is diving through Sharlock here with, well, there's the level 13 gained, and still about 14 heal mores to spare here.
Yeah, and not one of those levels that you just see. It's like, I really need to go back and heal up for. This is just one of those. It's not really worth it. I've got enough stats. I've got the go mode stuff. It's just time to get this over and done with.
Yeah, well said. 136 attack power. Theoretically, we would need about 10 heal mores to work with if you are standing right in front of the Dragon Lord. And right now, Jackimus has more than that, so it's a question of how many red dragons will he run into and how costly will they be. He's sitting at about 116 hit points, so there's no possibility of any sort of death necklace usage on his side. And Betastrep, I guess, is probably making his way back up towards Judge's table, but is running out of resources in a similar manner to Jackimus. Let's see if he actually makes it all the way up.
And unfortunately for Beta, these red dragons just are not letting him get out of here super easy.
Well, 66 agility is not fun against red dragons. You have maybe slightly better than a 1 in 3 chance each time you're running away. Of course, he has slightly less agility than Jackimus, so maybe 1 or 2% less chance every time he tries to run away from a red dragon, and that one did not let him go. Back to the castle goes Betastrep without possession of Erdrick's armor.
Yeah, and it's tough to see because now he knows the Judge's table is where he needs to go. Unfortunately, it just isn't what he wants to see. He's going to initiate this gold grind. Looks like he's going to pick up a silver shield, maybe? Question mark?
Well, yeah, that'd be the only thing to grind for, and yeah, we're assuming that he did see one in one of the shops. We know there's one in Rimeldar. Can't remember if he checked that shop, but yeah, maybe figuring we have pretty low agility and really low defense, might be helpful to have a silver shield.
I think there's no question about it there. 69 defense is an extremely uncomfortable number to fight Dragon Lord with. And you also have to get there too, and all those physical hits will add up.
Yeah, and if there was any thought of Betastrep potentially putting on the death necklace, you're going to want that defense to be high enough where you're not going to be taking too much more than 48 damage on those in-between turns. Not sure, Betastrep, if you're there, if that was part of the calculus.
At this point, with the failed dives and everything, I figured I was going to see a dot done shortly, so I just figured I'd do the uncommon gold grind out of Sharlock strat, since most people don't do it or aren't even aware that they can.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Grabbing the 6 chest in the pyramid, you have gold grind activated, so you just decided to take advantage of it and stop by. Now we have a shield upgrade for Betastrep. Puts his defense up to 79. And here comes the mini-boss for Jackimus. Gonna heal up first, and it is...
Well, there's the man that everybody usually is looking for. This is going to depend on what kind of things he's got, but he's just not going to get a chance to swing at anything. 2 shots and he's down. Jackimus going to talk to the, as he's called, the best-dressed man in all of the land. We're going to have a nice little chat with him real quick.
And shoutouts to High Spirits with a nice raid coming in and checking out what could be near the end of a really nice race between Jackimus and Betastrep here in week 4. We're about to take on the Dragon Lord over on Jackimus' side. About 10 minutes from now, we're going to have another race happening on Randomania. So let's see how this fight goes. DL1 went down pretty quickly and not bothering to... Let's see. Did you have any herbs left, or you just wanted to go straight into the fight no matter what?
It's not worth using herbs on DL1 unless you can defense break the physicals. You're just wasting turns most of the time.
Yeah, and I guess it looked like you had 10 heal mores coming into the fight here, so it's potentially a little bit close on the numbers. And let's see, 136, we should be looking at 9 to 18 on your ranges. So we got to look out and see if we're up towards the high side on these rolls.
Yeah, so seen a few lows, seen a few highs, so we're kind of balancing out a little bit right down the middle of the road here as far as damage goes. But, I mean, barring any kind of crazy mismingling and ridiculous low rolls for the rest of this, I think this might be in the bag here.
Guess we'll see.
Meanwhile, we do have Betastrep diving once again. He has knowledge of exactly where that armor is this time. So we should see a straight shot to the armor, barring any kind of crazy on his end. He's not had a lot of luck with these red dragons today. They have his number, and unfortunately, he can't get it back.
Well, we are down to 2 heal mores in reserve for Jackimus. I've seen mostly reasonable rolls, not a whole lot of 9s as far as I've been watching. So I'm not sure if we managed to get any double attacks, but
I got one extremely crucial double.
spoilers. All right, so 1 double attack, and now we're down to the last heal more. Well, there it is, the last attack. 6 MP. Oh, baby. Very nice fight from Jackimus Wedge, and is walking back to the castle.
So very super close fight, but an amazing fight nonetheless. He does it with 6 MP left and gets the GGs in the chat because this one is done for Jackimus. And Betastrep getting down there to go grab his armor. He's going to finish this one out as well, I think.
Yeah, the armor, of course, was up on the judges' table, so did not see... Okay, I guess he hasn't taken care of that just yet. You have to get down several levels down through Sharlock before coming back upstairs, and it looks like we are having notification on Betastrep's side that Jackimus has finished, so potentially we are going to have a forfeit. I guess you can confirm, Betastrep.
Potentially you do.
Just wanted to make sure we weren't, if you were going to finish out the seed or not, but very nice race from you guys. I mean, jet seeds can be, I find them to be like, not stressful, but it's like you're just, everything's going 100 miles an hour and you're just trying to keep up.
Yeah, so from watching us both play, early Silver Shield is the only reason I won that one, because I was chasing Beta most of the way, it looked like.
Yeah, from what it looked like, Beta had a lot of the exploration lead very early. He had a 2 grand almost experience lead super early. That Silver Shield just made a huge difference, I believe.
I guess it was hard to determine the exploration lead, though, because they just went in different directions. Like, Jackimus went back kind of early to dive the grave to clear that out after getting top 3 even earlier. But then, you know, we saw that when he needed to go find the staff cave, Betastrep needed to go back and dig out the grave and the tablet cave just to make sure that the armor wasn't there. So I guess if the armor had not been in Sharlock and it was somewhere else, then might have been advantage Betastrep. He could have potentially skipped the grave dive, for example. But because he had to go back for those things, it was like they sort of finished up their homework at the same time. The experience lead, unfortunately, didn't end up mattering because of ghost stats on level 12. So, yeah, it was just a matter of how quickly could you collect the stuff.
Well, when you need to run around and pick stuff up, which is a lot of this randomizer, you want defense. Like, this randomizer compared to other RPG randomizers I run, it really seems like defense is like the one true stat most of the time. You want as much of it as possible.
Well, yeah, I mean, defense has multiple uses in this rando, right? So you're taking less damage, as you would think from a defense stat would do, but also just the fact that you're repelling more monsters when you want to make progress on the map, like you're saying, and also the defense break formula. I mean, that's just multiple ways that the defense stat helps. So with repel in dungeons, it's even more so, and yeah, that silver shield has its value for sure. Any additional comments from you, Betastrep? I believe you guys started this race at 2-1, so you're going to just be sitting at 2-2, looking for that third win in week 5.
I fully expect to draw you for week 5.
Yeah, I kind of do as well. I've been running the gauntlet this tournament, and wouldn't that be exciting?
Yeah, I think this next week's pairing is going to be very key for quite a few people, and it's going to make for a lot of very interesting races. Jackimus 3-1, man, you've got a very talented pool of racers that you're going to be possibly drawn against. Any thoughts, any pieces and parts that you might do differently, or any seed changes you're going to make?
Well, I'm already guaranteed to make the bracket at 3-1, I think, right?
That is correct.
So whoever I end up with, I'll probably push for the wackiest, most outlandish flags we can, since the result only affects seeding.
Why do I have a feeling that I'm going to get caught in craziness?
You want to do, like, worst experience, big swamp? What else is really bad?
I mean, you never know. Like I said, these seedings are going to be important for some, and for some, it's just going to be a chance to kind of just give everybody something fun to watch.
Yeah, speaking of which, I'm not sure of the exact details, but I kind of think that in about 5 minutes, we are going to have one of those situations. I think they are running alternate flags in the upcoming. Someone can totally tell me if I'm wrong on that, but I think there is going to be something wacky happening in the next race. So, yeah, everybody just stay right here. I'm pretty sure we're just going to be going straight to that race on this same channel. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that's transitioning. So just make sure you guys don't go anywhere because it's going to be a fun race.
Let's go Bruins!
Jackimus,
yeah,
the Bruins.
there we go, the Bruins. I could have swore you said Red Wings, but we'll take that. But anyway, I'm definitely glad to have seen this race. Got to call with both these gentlemen here in the booth with us. If you guys get the chance, go follow these guys. They do more than just DWR, so they put on a lot of shows for a lot of different pieces and parts. It's fun to watch. So definitely give our racers here a follow and check out what they have in store.
Yeah, looks like our restreamer Zarnax42 has done a nice job tonight. Is informing us that we are going to have to do like an actual restream change. So instead of just hanging out and being cut off, I guess we'll, we might as well just wrap it up if they're ready. I guess just let us know, Zarnax, if it's time to wrap up. But again, you guys are both, sitting in a pretty strong position in the tournament, and the race was awesome, and definitely looking forward to next week. Hopefully everybody out there in chat has enjoyed the vodcast format here. Obviously this race has already happened somewhere in the past and was not restreamed for a variety of reasons, so we're able to catch up on the action after the fact and bring you the coverage. And it was nice to have both Betastrep and Jackimus along for the ride and to share their insights as things were unfolding. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I think we should do more of those. Absolutely.
Yeah, most definitely. I guess at this point, just any last comments or pieces and parts that you guys want to throw together before we get ready to go off the air and get ready for our next and final race of the week.
Well, if people like the vodcast so much, maybe I'll just mix up the time of my next race too, so that we can have another one.
Indeed. I was trying to cover for you, Jackimus.
GG's, Jackimus. Good luck next week, and thank you to all the volunteers behind the scenes that put all this stuff on.
Thanks for the race, Beta. Good times.
I guess that's going to do it, guys. Thanks to the runners for putting on an awesome show. Zarnax 42 behind the scenes, double duty tonight. Edge, a pleasure as always. Very nice job with the comms as always. And yeah, so again, you guys just stick around right here. If the stream drops for a minute, just refresh a few times, and we're going to have ourselves another race, the final race for week 4 before finding out the pairings for the final round. So that's happening coming up next. Stick around, everybody. Have a good rest of your night, and see you next time.